Hey Capricorn, this is your weekly tarot card reading from Born Without Boundaries Tarot. My name is Michelle and I use astrology, tarot, and oracle cards to divine weekly insight so that you know how to work within the energy that's going to impact you the most. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell so that you get notified when I upload your favorite content. Also go ahead and like this video and share it on your social media platforms. Also, there's always an extended video, and you can get to that extended video either through my Unbound membership, which is going to give you full access to all extended videos, as well as other wonderful perks and content, or the traditional way, and those links are down below. Yeah, let's just go right into the reading. The astrology is really interesting this week, though I have to say the tarot card readings are, whenever this message really carries to you or comes to you. So, but the astrology is really interesting because, let's say, Saturn is conjuncting a lot with other planets. It's conjuncting with Venus really this week. It's actually conjuncting with Venus and Mars the whole week. But Venus in perfect conjunction in the beginning of this week, and then, of course, Mars in perfect conjunction next week. And what does that mean? It just means that there's a lot of hardship, being harsh. And especially for you, there's going to feel this energy of being judged, feeling pressure put on you, or maybe for you guys, because you're ruled by Saturn, it'll feel empowering because you feel like you're back in control of the situation again. But ultimately, it can make you feel kind of bullied, kind of judged in terms of your finances, how you get things done, what you value, and how you are valued. All of this, of course, is happening in your second house, which is Aquarius. But ultimately, not all of you may be first house Capricorns, of course. So what's happening with Saturn is much more important. And that is really highlighting, kind of magnifying Saturn's restrictiveness on us. So if you don't really get far this week, don't blame it on yourselves. It's really not you. This is more of a review period, a period of, heartbreak and suffering that's supposed to teach us how to struggle harder and move toward our North Node space, getting out of our comfort zone and applying ourselves in a different capacity. And get through it. I know it sounds rough, but getting through it is kind of the name of the game right now. And not just getting through it, being vigilant, because being a spiritual person is about being able to observe how this impacts you and how it touches your heart and what your soul thinks and feels as you get told no with something that you were hoping for, or get told you're not doing something right, or there's a conflict or a judgment about how you execute things, and just feeling kind of really cut into and parented this week could get really frustrating for you, especially amongst your friends or in society at large, or the community, or even just in terms of political correctness in some ways, really just harsh, it's almost like people using political correctness to justify their idiocy and immaturity from a Saturnian perspective. And that can really be very frustrating for you right now. And let's pray on it. Let's just pray on it, because it will pass. These conjunctions will be definitely good and past. Venus enters Pisces by the end of this week, and the conjunction with Mars will be really past by halfway through next week. So basically by the end of next week, beginning of the week after, we can start to see, we definitely can start to see the light breaking through. You ready? Capricorn. Capricorn. Overcome any obstacle and be playful. So this is a message to your heart that is saying, in this circumstance, being playful and not taking things so seriously is going to be the sharpest tool in your arsenal. Because especially when it comes to financial concerns, you're gonna feel real heavy. You're gonna feel real judged. You're gonna feel real attacked. But it's being playful and not taking it seriously that is actually going to help you overcome the circumstances, overcome the situation. Joking, laughing, and even communicating. You know, not be careful, but when you communicate, let people know that even if they have authority over you, you know, they don't have authority over your soul. And that ultimately nobody gets to limit you. Happy birthday, Doug Denny, except you. Right? You know, this Gemini energy has a dualistic nature. It understands very well the underbelly of things. So it can see the dark and the light at any time. And choosing to keep it light is not ignoring the problem. You're going to feel it in your soul. And you're not suppressing it. You're keeping it right there. You're keeping it just under that threshold of bawling your eyes out. Like a master ballerina or tightrope walker. And you are legitimately standing in your solidarity of, there's no way you're going to get me down. There's no way you're going to let me think that you hold the key and that there's no way I can pass. That's what you're going to do. That's what's going to happen this week. And with that energy, you will be able to overcome any obstacle. Let's keep going. Capricorn. We have time for a beginner mind. This is a good time to look at things from a different perspective. It's also a time to realize, okay, if nothing old that I'm working with is working for me, then maybe I need to start working in different energies. And maybe I need to start looking at other outlets, other ways to go about doing what I want to do with my life and doing what I want to do with myself. Because there is a way to be very dexterous here. There's a way to almost rebel against your own nature and say, no, you're not going to back me against this wall. Maybe I just have to, ask different questions. Learn different things. See things from a different perspective. But definitely open my mind to the idea that what I know right now is not all the information there is in this world. And it is certainly this traditional path, not the only conduit or channel that I can move in. So let's go after, and you listen, it doesn't even, if you can't imagine it, ask your friend. Ask a totally different brain. I think that is going to really empower you. Be here now in the present moment. There is beauty. There is love. Hummingbird spirit is Libra energy. And it is very much air energy because air energy lives in the here and now. For those of you who are interested, fire is always in the future. And water is always the history, the past. And earth is usually the here and now being pulled just by wanting to maintain the past. So air is really the here and now with an open-heartedness toward the future. And ultimately, be here now and focusing on the beauty of the moment in front of you is going to be the second sharpest tool in your arsenal. These are the tools that you're going to wield to be successful through one of the most maybe conflicting and challenging, or at least irritating, 2 weeks of your existence. So be here now and look at the beauty that you have in front of you. Look at the current moment. Look at these things. And love your life for what it absolutely is. What am I telling you this for? Because this is an energy reading, and I'm trying to tell you the tools that are going to help you change the energy and make them the absolute best conditions for you. So the second tool is focusing on those things that are beautiful, even if it's just one thing, even if it's just a ring that you inherited years ago and it's your favorite thing, you know, and it may not even have to be worth much, but you just like look at it and focus on it and love its beauty. 1111, and it just saw it on my, and connect with the energy of how it inspires you, how it opens you up, and the joy that it gives you. And this is definitely, it's interesting how you got Taurus energy in your first arsenal, and you got Libra energy in your second arsenal, and then this is Venus. You know, Venus is the one that's really passing over Saturn right now as Mars is coming up from behind. And this is that divine feminine energy of value, luxury, beauty. So finding the beauty in the current situation is really going to help you overcome the restrictions, the undermining sensibility, the authority that doesn't want to change, and the immovable objects in your life. Let's put it that way. And then we have, in the past, bring your ideas to life. So you have been working on something new, or you have been intending to. I don't know whether that's manifesting a new relationship or manifesting a new business, but it's certainly you're manifesting something new, or you've been inspired. These new ideas are popping off. And then be at home. This may be that you are building a new home, or you are rearranging what you feel home is. You can actually be working on a new home, a home for yourself, right? And then we have trust in divine detours, which means your life is changing. And maybe you've had to deal with these changes in a really quick, rapid fire. This is also Sagittarius energy, so it means that you could be changing states, right? Moving a great distance, or just a sense of things are different. You know, and they could very well just feel foreign to you. But looking at the bigger picture, like stepping back and seeing everything overall. In other words, maybe looking at the details made you feel lost for a second, and maybe just looking at the bigger picture helped you. I don't know about that. All I know is there was a lot of change regarding your fourth house, your family, and ultimately that maybe emptiness is what made you start thinking wonderful things, thinking great things, and inspiring new ideas to pop out of you. So why does that element come up in the past when we're talking about what's going on now? Because it's impactful, because it's somehow putting pressure on you, or it's somehow inspiring you, or it somehow was the catalyst for where you are now and what is grinding and the challenges. And I just want to remind you, Capricorn, that anytime you begin something new, only from a distance does it look perfect and pretty. When you're down and in the nitty-gritty, there's always complications. There's always, you know, if you're building a new house, there's always a beam you didn't expect to be there, or, you know, a water main that you can't work around. And it's always that. There's always those things that you could never predict. And so God is calling you right now to really look at the larger picture. And when you need to take a break from all the drudgery or all the combativeness and the butting of the heads, It's just remember why you're doing it. Remember why it's so important. Remember the joy. And there's a secret to that. There's a secret to that, because if you can always make the vibration of the joy that this process is making you feel, not the process, the joy of this thing that you're manifesting gives you, then it'll make the manifesting much easier for you, especially dealing with the 3D challenges. And also call God into the situation to help you through the obstacles. Spirit has your back. Which also, that what I say, like spirit, like spirit itself is the highest authority, right? It's not even authority, it's our consummate connection to infinite vibrations. And so spirit has your back is, yes, he's gonna, especially with eagle, spirit can see things that you cannot. And in the time when it feels most crunched in the 3D world is the time when you call spirit in the most and say, please guide me through this. I'm lost here. And the humility in front of spirit itself is going to give you, it's going to give you the far sight and the insight that you need to navigate, because spirit will help. Absolutely. And then we have reclaim your power by remembering your connection to spirit and remembering that you don't have to see how everything is going to work out. Just trust that spirit has the way through. Now, how do you feel that connection to spirit? Sometimes you just have to have faith. You just have to. Sometimes you can't feel it because you're so upset. And that doesn't mean that you're not manifesting and your life isn't moving forward. It means that you're human and you have to honor those experiences. You know, it's not... Every time we talk about manifestation, it seems like, you know, so much magic and you're supposed to feel peaceful all the time. And it's more difficult than that, you know. But this is real. This is the real magic. This is where the real magic is realizing that your absolute power is in spirit itself. And this, therefore, is the third arsenal. The third tool in your arsenal is your actual connection to spirit and your actual ability to pray. And it's not prayer as in begging God. It's prayer as in celebrating God. It's prayer as in thanking God for what you have now, and sharing your heart with God about just how upset and maybe frustrated you are, maybe how lost you are, maybe it's sad you are, maybe it's confused, you know, and just help me. Help me, Spirit. I know you have my back. So this is your third tool in the arsenal that is this week as you navigate challenging energy, to say the least. Here we go. Deception and envy is in the past. I don't know if this is you or somebody on the outside of you. Maybe Spirit will give me some more insights. Triumph and success. Oh, so beautiful. So deception and envy. This is kind of a twisted, you know, in the past. Maybe you kind of were constantly looking at what everybody else had, and that was making things difficult for you. And then when you have something, maybe you don't appreciate it because of all the complications surrounding it. Foundation and achievements is here. This is a new home. Patience and planning. It could be planning your new home or planning regarding it, or just your family, planning around a family. Stand your ground is here, standing up for what you believe in, not giving up. Ultimately is what it is. And then triumph and success. So really, I'll tell you this right now, I think the energy, especially of Saturn, is trying to see if it can make you give up, trying to see if it can get you off the playing field, because the real winner this week is the person that can eat mud and keep going. It seems like, you know, it's not that way. It's supposed to be the white knight that somehow fights in the mud and doesn't get a speck of dirt on them. And that's not the case. This is the time when just showing that you don't get to decide for me, only I get to decide for me. And I'm staying on this field because I belong here. Like, I want you to say that out loud, Capricorn. I'm staying on this field because I belong here. I deserve it. And I'm staking my claim to this space. And it's not about stubbornness, because you're going to get knocked down. Maybe a tooth's going to fall out, metaphorically. And yeah, you're going to look blood, sweat, and tears, right? But ultimately, that's when you're winning. Because that's really what Saturn wants to see. Because that's really the secret to success in the 3D world. It's tenacity. It's not magic. It's not manifestation. It's tenacity. That's the most magical you could be when it comes to showing Saturn that you're worthy. Which is just, I'm staying in this game. I'm going to go deeper into the specifics. I hope you guys will join me for the extended. Both links are below. And remember, the Unbound membership gives you access to all the extendeds, unlimited amounts of time, plus live chats with me for members only. And yeah, I'd love to see you there. So I'll see you in the extended.